Alright, new showcase for Speedster mod, because I changed a lot. Again. You know, as per usual. Alright. So, starting off is about the same. Need to find this. There's the spawn rate. You can craft it into this. This is just what the ore drops. It is fortunable. You can craft it into that. You can grab 9 of these into the compressed one. You can also make these, which are incredibly powerful. They are also instant eat. Alright. Then we get to the first custom block. So something to note about these blocks, they have to be powered to function. You see it says research table powered false. But if I have this, I can actually click that. It doesn't kick me out of the GUI. So this is actually integrated with JEI. So if you have JEI installed, it'll tell you how to make this. You need those 3 things. There you go. But yeah, and then you can also make this one if you really want to. But yeah, so this one increases your speedster level. This one will reset it to 0. Alright, so we've got empty syringe. Then we get into the interesting stuff. Because something you can make is Velocity X. So Velocity X can be used as either temporary speedster powers or to boost existing speedster powers. But to do this, you have to do some brewing. So first off, you'll want an awkward potion. Alright, here we go. Yep, there you go. Now, you need to turn it into a speed potion. I'm actually remembering... yeah, this needs to be speed 2, so I also need glowstone. I believe that's how you make speed 2, right? So we do that, speed 2, glowstone, yes. Okay. Alright, here we go. There we go, we've got our speed potions. I don't know why I took them out, still need to do some brewing steps. Alright. Yep, there we go, speed 2. And now, you want to put speed 2s in the bottom, compressed block of tachyon powder, and that will get you velocity prototype. Then you'll want to add a golden apple. And that will give you, there you go, Velocity X. So Velocity X can be put into a syringe like this, and you do get the bottle back. I'm not gonna bother showing it, because just literally putting the 2 things together. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep one of these on me, but one of them I'm gonna use to show right now. So when you use this, you get 5 minutes of Velocity X, which is basically all the powers of actual Speed Force, just temporary. Something to also note, when using Velocity X, regardless of whether you have it as temporary speed or boosting your existing speed, your lightning will turn blue. However, if you're using it as temporary speed, you can still change your lightning color. with the tablet over here. But every time you re-inject, it will switch it back to blue. So it's usually best to not change it unless you have permanent speed. Something I also changed is on B by default is how you toggle your speed on and off. If you hit it normally, it just toggles it between the lowest setting. But if you hold shift and toggle it on, it brings you to the highest setting. I did that as just a way to merge the two keybinds so there weren't so many, because I added 2 more abilities, both of which have keybinds. So, felt it was only right to do that. Alright, so... yeah, velocity you can't take out of yourself. You just have to wait for the effect to dissipate. Or you can, if you have command access, you can just clear the effect yourself. And that'll disappear eventually, once it runs out. And there it goes. Okay. So, to go further, or to get permanent speed, you may end up wanting bottles of dark matter. This is for either if you have weather cycle turned off, or if you're just not willing to wait around for a thunderstorm, or wait for rain or thunder to use like a channeling trident and a lightning rod or something. Because though you can't brew this. This you can't actually obtain. So the way that you get your speed is you have to have a certain selection of 4 potion effects on you at the same time, and then get struck by lightning. So you have to have regeneration, jump. So you have to have regeneration 1, jump boost 1, strength 1, and speed 2. If you get struck by lightning, it'll instantly clear all of those effects and get you permanent speed force. So, I added a way to trigger said lightning. So, these 2 blocks here, the Skulk Catalyst and Skulk Shrieker, just, you know, base Minecraft, are counted as dark matter. So you can just right-click glass bottles on them. There you go, bottles of dark matter. But yeah, and this also lists the effects that you would need. But yeah, so you have to gain speed force naturally. However, once you do, you can right-click an empty syringe and it'll actually take the speed force out of you and put it into the syringe. So if I use this, I now have permanent speed force. You notice this has no duration, but it's staying. Like, even if I slash kill real quick, still have it. Fly back over here. Okay. But yeah, so you can also take it out of yourself and boom, gone. And as always, the regeneration just takes a second to dissipate. But yeah, so the default lightning color for regular speed force is yellow. But you can always change it later. But something to note, if you use velocity X while you have speed force, it'll boost the amount of speed that you can reach and will turn your lightning blue. And when your lightning is blue like this, you can't actually change it. It's like I'm trying to, and yeah, it's not working. We'll just stick with red for now, I guess. But yeah, so until velocity boost, until this effect ends, your lightning is stuck blue. So, if we go ahead and just clear velocity boost from myself. Lightning goes back to normal, reduces your max speed, and at any point, if your current speed goes above your max speed, it'll reset it back down to whatever your new max speed is. So you can never exceed the blue bar, essentially. And that's another thing. Since I switched it to bars, I put this here so that people know what each color means. Obviously, I don't have any green because I haven't leveled up at all. But yeah, we've got current speed is yellow, maximum speed is blue, and then speedster level is the green. But yeah, and the way that you craft this tablet is like this. Pretty easy. Ah yeah, I never went over how to craft the research table. There we go. Also quite easy. Just a little more pricey. Okay, so velocity is a way to temporarily boost your speed. If you want a more permanent solution that doesn't involve actually leveling up, you can use a tachyon device. There's 3 tiers of them in the mod. Tiers 1 through 3, obviously. And they go into the tachyon device curio slot, because the mod does require curios to be installed. And they each tell you how many levels they go up by. The velocity is essentially a temporary, is like a potion effect version of a tier 3 tachyon device, because it boosts it by 6 levels. So I put on the tier 1, if you watch my blue bar over there, you can see that increases it by 2. This one increases it by 4, and this one increases it by 6. Pretty simple. Let's keep that one on me for later. But the way that you craft these, so the tier 3 is with 3 netherite ingots, 4... Oh, I said all the wrong numbers. God damn it. Okay, so 4 netherite ingots, 4 compressed tachyon powder blocks, and a tier 2 tachyon device. The tier 2 is 2 netherite ingots, 2 compressed tachyon powder, and 4 diamonds, as well as a tier 1. The tier 1 is 2 iron ingots, 2 redstone dust, 1 compressed tachyon powder block, and 4 zirconium ingots. Zirconium ingots are a new ore added by the mod, which is fairly common, so you probably won't be running out of the stuff. And it is fortunable, because it drops a raw version. Zirconium is a pretty heat-resistant metal, even in real life, so it is only able to be blasted. And the zirconium will be used in order to make polymers. So these different polymers are basically the same recipe, only difference is what dye it uses. So all of them are 1 zirconium ingot, 2 clay balls, 2 paper, and then some color of dye. You can do white, red, green, or blue. So with the white, you can make these 2 things, because something you'll definitely want is a suit, because I will show you. Prepare for loud sound. I never understand why that's so loud. But if we throw this on, and by the way, these books are how you level up, because +1 to speedster level. So there we go. So now I actually have 1 green light in the green bar. But now I can go 1 speed level higher. But you'll notice there's flames coming off of me, and you can see my armor is very quickly breaking. But yeah, so even netherite armor will be completely destroyed in about a minute. Like, not even a minute. But yeah, so armor that is not a suit will be destroyed pretty quickly. So you would definitely want an actual suit. And to make those, you need a suit drive, which is crafted like this. Pretty simple. It's just one white polymer, one iron nugget, and one redstone. And a suit base. The suit base is made from, each piece is made from a full set of leather armor, 4 white polymer, and 1 zirconium ingot. And then you will want these, the spools, and all of them are crafted the same. It's just 8 of the polymer around a stick. I may change it to like an iron ingot or something, because the spool definitely looks metal, but oh well. So then, you'll need these 2 blocks here, a suit database and a suit fabricator. Suit database is crafted like this. Suit fabricator is crafted like this, using quite a lot of zirconium. And these 2 blocks also require a redstone signal to work. So in here, you can select any of the suits as long as you put a suit drive in. I am going to select, let's see, I have red lightning, so let's go with one of the suits that matches that. Let's see, overdrive or blight storm. Let's do blight storm. There we go, you just click it, and it encodes the drive. Then you can come over to here, and this basically just tells you where everything goes. I mean, the spools can only go in their respective slots. Those are the only items that those slots can even have. Same with the suit base. But yeah, then you put the drive in there, because these 4 things are constant for all suits that are made in the fabricator. So the only difference is what drive you have in here. And there we go. It consumes the suit base, damages each of the polymer filaments, and it does not clear the drive or anything, so you'll just have a drive for your suit laying around. Yeah, and so with the suits, this like weird inventory bug I can't fix, because it's just because of how the suits are rendered on the character. They look fine in game like this. It's just in the inventory that they're a bit buggy. But I don't have a way to really fix that without having to texture the entirety of the suit over again, which I don't want to deal with. And like, pretty much all these suits are skins I found online, so like, I didn't make them in the first place, but I don't want to have to deal with retexturing them, because my texture work is pretty abysmal. But yeah, so suits like this don't burn when you run. So you can see I'm at a speed level 5, and my suit is not burning. So, there we go. That's how you do that. Yeah, then we already saw how to make this, but it is very helpful, because you can select any of these colors, and, you know, also tells you what each bar means, in case you end up forgetting. Okay, so, with purely leveling up, the max speed you can reach is this here, which is, I believe, 14. Yeah, let me count for a second. Yep, just counted, it is indeed 14. Okay. So yeah, max speed you can reach is this right here, and this is just with purely leveling up. Let's actually turn my game audio down a bit. There we go. But yeah, so this is the max speed you can reach with just leveling up from Speedster Research. And if you try to level up any more, it doesn't do anything. I'm right-clicking right now. Like, it just doesn't do anything. So, if you want to boost your speed any higher, you gotta either use Velocity X for a temporary boost, in which you can, but again, it'll turn your lightning blue, and it's only temporary. Or you can use a tachyon device. Either method will add an extra segment of 6 levels to your bars. And obviously, if you use a lower tier tachyon device, say like a tier 1, you can see it extends the bars, but only gives you 2 more max speed. Yeah. So... Right, so some of the suits can be upgraded, and you do that with a Speedster upgrade template. So the way you get your first one is with 4 zirconium and 4 diamonds around a netherite smithing template, and that'll get you the Speedster one, and then you can duplicate the Speedster one with 1 diamond and 7 zirconium. Makes it a little cheaper on diamonds for duplicating them. But with this, you can upgrade certain suits. Not all of them can be upgraded. Only, I believe, 3 currently can be upgraded like that. Which is Crimson Vector here into this one here. So Crimson Vector, so Vector Ignition into Vector Prime. Overdrive into Hyperdrive, and then Speed Burst Black Suit into Speed Burst Tachyon Suit. And despite the name, that one does not boost your speed. Yeah, what the upgraded suits are is just like a netherite tier of the previous. So you can see, this one has a full armor bar over in Jade on the left there. This one does not have full armor. And the netherite ones, the upgraded ones, also have more durability, of course. But now, we can get into the extra abilities. Because there are 3 new abilities that you can do as a speedster. Let me actually just lower my speed level a little, because it's kind of ridiculous. There we go. This should be plenty. So first off, a passive you get if you have your current speed set to 6 or above is running on water, which does work over top of seagrass, does not work over top of kelp. And that's just because kelp sits a little too far below the water for the procedure to actually detect it. Oh yeah, but I did get rid of gravity lock. That's not a thing anymore. Playing older versions of this mod that had gravity lock, I never used it. Not once. I never found a point where I'd actually want to use it. Because in a normal Minecraft world, there's just too many hills. Like, there's too much uphill and water and like holes in the ground for it to really be effective. So yeah, I decided to remove that. Instead, what you can do is, if I grab a, let's say, pillager, I guess, go in survival, plop down a pillager, Let him shoot me a couple times, get some arrows in me. Bro, how'd you miss? I'm standing still. Yeah, there we go, come on. There we go. So now, if you by default hit Z, it pops all the arrows out of you. And something you can do is throw the arrows back. But yeah, so you can actually throw arrows as a speedster. I'll just leave those up there. But yeah, and you'll notice there's no more arrows in me. However, do note that basically any player can pick up the arrows that you throw. Like, they won't, it won't be like skeleton arrows or actual, like, arrows that are shot from a player with an actual bow. Because those ones, only the player that shot them can pick them up, but these ones, just any player can pick them up. So, definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, and then on N by default is Arm Vortex. I would have aligned this with the arms and done like 2, but I just didn't feel like it, so it looks more like the Canary Scream. But oh well. But what you can do with this is push mobs away. Well, one of the things that you can do at least. God damn it, I missed. There we go. But yeah, so this can push around entities, but it can also put out fires. Oh wait, do I still have fire tick turned on? Let me check. Game roll, do, fire tick. No, it's still set to false. Okay. Interesting. Alright. But yeah, so using this, you put out fires. And there we go. All the fire's gone. However, doing this does drain your hunger. You can see my exhaustion is going up with apple skin. So you can see that like checkerboard pattern behind my hunger bar is going up and depleting my hunger when using this. So you definitely want to like throttle it so you're only doing like little bursts. That way you're not using as much hunger. Unless you have like a factory with Create Mod or something that can just produce light speed energy bars. Because then you wouldn't have to worry about food. Oh yeah, and speaking of light speed energy bars, I should probably show what their advantage is over, like, you know, golden carrots. Because, for one, light speed energy bars are just a really good food source, like, obscenely good. But also, when running, if you eat it, it barely slows you down. Like, the slowing down from right-clicking the energy bar is pretty much non-existent. Yeah, negligible at the very least. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there is... Right, there is more. Because phasing. Because I added that back. So phasing has a lot more freedom in this version. Because before I made it so you could only do it when sprinting and in the air. Which made it incredibly difficult to use. Because you could only do it like that. But now, you can just do that. Yeah, you do have to be careful because going through walls like that can end up damaging you. Because if you release the phasing key too early, it can end up starting to suffocate you. But also, you don't want to hold it down and just drop straight down, because for one, when you let go of it, it may deal fall damage if your speed's not on. Or actually, no, because I have it set up so you can only use it if your speed is set to, I believe, 7? Yeah, 7. Because this speed level, I can't use it at all. This speed level, I can. So, good to know. But yeah, so phasing is very nice. Yeah, the safest way to do it is to just have it bound to either a key that you can easily press at the same time as spacebar, or just have it bound to spacebar if you know you're going to be going through a lot of walls. Because if you hit the jump key at the same time and just kind of hold it down until you see the other side, then you're basically guaranteed to make it through the wall with no suffocation damage, like 100% of the time. Like, even at relatively low speeds. But yeah, and apart from showing suits and lightning trails, that's basically everything. But yeah, so there are, I believe, let's see, this would be 24, because 4x6. So there's 26 different lightning trails. So these 24 here have been here the whole time. This one and this one are both brand new, and this one I overhauled a little bit, although it's not super visible. But yeah, so this one looks like this, with 3 different colors. I overhauled it, so basically it's just all 3. It's all 3 lightning trail colors put into one trail, instead of just like one frame from the texture. So, makes it look a lot smoother and less repetitive. But yeah, and then trail that I made for myself is red and black, although I don't use it often. I usually just use plain red. But I also made red and dark, which is this one here. It's not super different, but the black ones are a lot more noticeable, especially at night. Oh yeah, the machine blocks and the like tachyon blocks all glow. And the items don't glow, those are glow item frames from Quark. So they don't normally look like that, it's just because of the special item frames I have them in. Because all these items are put in glow glass item frames from Quark. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, so this one you can see the black ones. You can see the black parts of the particle way better than this one. Because you can see, not really noticeable, especially against the night sky. But this one is quite noticeable regardless. So, a lot better. But yeah, and then a new one I added, because I added the comic book August Heart suit. It is like a pale green, which I call lime for simplicity, because I didn't want to have to type out pale green for it. Like, some of these names in here are long enough. Like that one especially. Yeah, I think that one's the longest, actually. But yeah, so pale green is a thing. And then obviously you got your like standard colors like orange, red, yellow, white, blue. But there's also some interesting ones like dark blue. Dark blue is used for a custom suit, which is Slipstream, a friend of mine's character. But yeah, and then there's also like blue and pink. This one is used for another of my friend's custom suits, which is Photon. And then purple here is for Blitz. And if I can manage to find a decent skin for it, I'll add a XS. Barry's daughter. Yeah, Barry's daughter, Nora. Because she has purple lightning. And in later seasons has a fusion of purple and yellow like this. Yeah, in later seasons of the CW Flash show. Yeah, and then we've got pink here for this set of suits, specifically this one. But yeah, these 4 suits are from a YouTuber called RZ, which is spelled like that. But yeah, great YouTuber, makes some good stuff. But yeah, these are from a series that he did called the Enhanced SMP. So we've got 3 variants of Speed Burst, which is the YouTuber's character, and then Rose Rush, which is, I believe, the only Speedster villain that was shown that wasn't like a Time Remnant. And probably don't know what a Time Remnant is unless you've seen like comics or the show. So don't worry about it too much. But I also have white and yellow, like the comic book Godspeed. We've got blue and dark blue, which is used for the Velocity suit right there, which is another custom one. Yeah, an easy way to tell whether the suit is custom or not, if you don't know like any characters or anything from comic books, just look at what the drive looks like. If it's a red one like this, that means it's a suit for a character that exists in like the DC universe, whether from comic books, movies, shows, stuff like that. Blue, like this, are custom suits, which are just random Speedster skins I found on the internet, or recolors that I've done, such as Overdrive, Photon, Blitz, Slipstream, and Blightstorm. Blightstorm here, I will mention, is a slight recolor of a suit from RZ's series, which is one of the Time Remnant villains, the Cortex or whatever. I forget what the Speedster's name was. Revert X, that's the one. But yeah, so it's just a recolor of that. Well, slight recolor. All I did was make the white more of a white and less of a cream color. So if we go that right there, there we go. But yeah, because before all the white was more of like a cream color, the red was a little more on the pink side. Okay, these particles need to get out of my face. But yeah, the red was a little more on the pink side, the white a bit more of a cream color, and all of the black was more so a dark gray rather than a black like this. So I just made the colors a bit more sharp. But yeah, and so he technically had just plain red lightning, but I noticed that the suit itself actually looks pretty good with the red and white. Yeah, and like the red and... oh, that's just dark. But the red and dark doesn't look too bad either, but the red and white is definitely the way to go. Also, if you're wondering how I did the shift right click thing like that, it's another mod that I found. I forget the name. Let me actually find the name real quick. There we go. So it's called Armor Stand Shift Swap. But yeah, so if you search that up on CurseForge, you'll find it. Because I kind of missed having the suit stand from 3 Core, which had that same feature where if you shift right click, it just swapped your armor for the stand's armor. Really hated not having that, but luckily there's a mod to fix that issue. Now yeah, I also have green for another custom suit, Spark right there. We've got, let's see, white and blue, which is what Google said Godspeed's lightning was in the show, but I watched the show and it very much was just pure white. So I don't know what Google was on about. But pure white also matches the Wally West Rebirth suit, which is cool. Yeah, and then if we do, let's see, we've got black and white here. Purple and green, which I like to call the Joker Trail. And let's see here, we've got black and green. We've got red and yellow. We've got orange and yellow. This is a fun one, because this is for the Nitro custom suit. You can see how it kind of matches there. It kind of looks like the suit has a bunch of lava in it. Yeah, and then... ah yeah, we've got purple and red. And I think that's pretty much all of them except for, like, you know, standard ones. Yeah, I believe that's pretty much all of them. So I'll switch back to my... actually, I'll go with red and dark. Why not? There we go. God, these particles in my face sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much the mod, I believe. Because I don't think there's really anything to go over. Well, anything left at least. Yeah, no, went over pretty much everything. But yeah, so, the Speedster mod.